Good evening, boys and girls. Guess who's back? Back again. That's right, the Highbury squad. It's a blank canvas. It's a brand new preseason. Let's paint some pictures and tell some stories. Here we go.
Mind the gap between the train and the platform. Please stand clear of the discussion doors. The next stop is Highbury Squad.
Good evening, everyone. The Highbury squad is back, and we are back with a bang. The question is, have we missed you? I missed him. Welcome back, my podcast brother from another mother, Mr. Super Kevin Campbell.
Squaddies, how you doing? I hope you missed us. We've missed you. At ease and hit the like button, remember, on the way in. That's the new one for this season. Come on.
All right, Super Kev, I like your rules. And guess why they have to hit the like button today more than any other day? Why it's very, very important. I'll tell you why. And I'm going to go up here. I've lost my touch, Kev. I'm a bit rusty here. But it's this little guy's birthday today.
Hey, there you go. Hey, Vinny boy. Vinny's birthday. So least you could do, squaddies. Salute and hit. There you go. Each Vinny showing you.
A lot of folks said you better put this up because we've missed it so much. So here it is, of course, Super Kev.
Oh, nice one. Lovely.
How are you? How is your summer so far?
I am absolutely tremendous. Sophie, as you know, I've been very, very, very busy. I've got a lot of projects on at the moment, a lot of stuff. And do you know what? This is a welcome distraction for once.
It feels kind of nice. I was like, I got to get prepared for a Monday Madness show. I know it's been a couple of weeks. The last time we did one was when we had Leon. And I was thinking to myself,
really good show,
which was a great show, by the way. Great show. If you missed it, you should go into our playlist on Monday Madness and listen to that because we got into a bit of nostalgia at the end. And it was absolutely fantastic. Super Kev, you're looking great. You're looking fire, as Cairo90 says. Everyone's happy to see us back together again. The whole gang is back, and they're all promising to be on their best behavior. Remember, this is just the pre-season. This isn't the launch of the brand new season, okay? So there's going to be a lot of new bells and whistles for the new season, so you can look forward to that. Super Kev, this week, we've got a few bits coming up, which I'll let people know at the end of the show. I've been kind of busy. I got to speak to Carlo Ancelotti, Courtois, Eric Garcia from Barcelona, Vlahovic. I tried to get a little
out, but you couldn't get it out, right?
He said, "I'm just moving on, Sophie. I'm moving on from January, which is fair. Absolutely." And of course, Max Allegri as well, which was fun, and Gareth Bale, which I kind of felt a little bit dirty about, but I got over it, because being an ex-Spud.
Oh, yeah, but he's been away from that.
He has.
Place for a long time.
I don't even consider it. And of course, in a few weeks, you guys are going to be treated to another ex-Arsenal player coming on for an Inside the Dressing Room with Super Kev. We're going to have Carlos Vela on the show as well. But let's talk about the present, not the past, not the future. Super Kev, it's Monday Madness. We've got top 5 talking points. Mm-hmm. We've got a little special segment coming up that we're going to drop later on tonight as well with the Charm City Gooners, the Baltimore branch of Arsenal America. Kev, it's been nuts. We're everywhere. Arsenal are everywhere. Our people are everywhere. Does this not underline that we are a big club still? We might not be doing great things, but my goodness, you're Arsenal.
Listen, I don't think Arsenal being a big club has ever been in doubt. I just think we want it on the pitch, But whenever Arsenal come to town, Soph, especially on that side of the pond, the Gooners are out in force. Wow. And as for the kit launch, Little Islington, I love it. I love Little Islington, Soph.
We're doing that. We're doing that tomorrow. Should we tell them? I'll tell them. No, okay, I won't tell them.
No, I'm just talking about me liking Little Islington and seeing all the Gooners and stuff. You've got your stuff to do tomorrow, and it's what you can do. And it's good to see Ray as ambassador, linking up with all the Gooners out there. It's just great to see, Soph. All ages, all races. There's Aston there and a few of the other. It's just great to see, Soph. It really is special.
Our girl Tiff.
Tiff there. It's great to see. Really is.
Magic raised a ton of money again for Gooners v Cancer, Kev. They had a great Q&A as well. And of course, little Gunnosaurus was even there, Kev.
Yeah. Unbelievable. But you know what, Sophie? It is the club. The club's huge, Soph. The club's huge. And, a Gabriel Jesus who joined is finding that out. He is finding that out. How big this club is.
Yeah.
So, it's a good thing.
Kev, my talking point number one is him. I want to start with him because in pre-season, we had a terrible pre-season last summer. And pre-season to me I'm not going to make massive judgments from pre-season. You just can't. However, you and I were huge fans of this guy. We were hoping that we would sign him, that he would come to the club, not only because he brings a plethora of experience. He's been managed by one of the best managers in modern day football. He played for Manchester City, won a ton of stuff while he was there. But the excitement a certain signing brings. You've been a captain of clubs. You've been in pre-season. You've been at a club where new players have come in. Talk me through what the energy of Jesus brings to an Arsenal, having been inside that dressing room.
Well, I'll tell you one thing that I could spot already, Sophie. Never mind it's pre-season. One thing I could spot already, when a new player comes in and he comes in from a top team, the other players get on it. The other players raise their level. And you could see Jesus, it's like he's been at the club for a long time already. You see him in training, you see him around the other players. He just fits in. He's enthusiastic. He's hungry. But he just wants to play. So if you could see that in him, he just wants to play. He's happy to play. He's happy to be at Arsenal. And you see the others are starting to up their game. I'll be honest with you, Sophie. I've never seen Eddie Nketiah look so sharp.
Seriously?
I've never seen him look so sharp. I've seen him do okay and look all right. But this guy looks sharp. Saka, first game back, looked sharp. Martinelli looked sharp. This is what a player like Jesus can do. He can make people around him better, Sophie. Really look better. And I know it's just the beginning. I think Jesus is just going to get better and better the more the players understand his game.
Kev, what I wanted to ask you about him is because one of the things I think Arteta was looking for and finally found in Jesus is the forward who can truly press. We saw Lacazette do that quite a bit, and I think we had success with it in December, and when he took over the armband from Oba as well. But the dude, the way he was giving it all in both games in pre-season, hustling and his press. The difference is, though, he scores goals. And one of the things I've always said to you, because you were a predator, like you would get a chance, you bang it in. We talk about certain strikers who need 2 or 3 chances. We've had so many of those strikers over the last few years. Given the chance, and he's going to relish being the dude and the main man, it doesn't appear like he needs too many chances to finish.
No, we've said it. We need a killer. So that's what we've said. We need a killer. What's the point in having all these fancy weapons if you got no bullets. He's the guy who's going to be pulling the trigger. He's the guy who's going to be the cutting edge of this team, because we've created a lot of chances previously, Sophie, and there's times where we haven't taken them, and then the opposition come and score, and it's made life difficult. Now we believe we've got somebody at the top end of the pitch who can make a difference, Sophie, and it's really, really important. We have a killer. One chance, one goal, or two chances, one goal. We get that, Sophie, we are in business.
Yes. And I know we were playing, it's pre-season. This is why I don't want to get too excited and make too many judgments, Kevin. We're going to see how it's going to unfold. But it's okay to get excited, isn't it? Like, I've seen so many fans saying, you know, come on, man. Like, this dude's a player.
Sophie,
and
it's not as if he hasn't done it. It's not as if he hasn't done it in the Premier League. He scored goals in the Premier League. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. Our mates, Lee Judges and Mr. Dan Potts, I was watching the other day, and they were like, are we overhyping Jesus? How can you overhype a player like him? He is the hype. Tell him, Kev. Send a message to the boys.
Listen, I saw the headline and I wouldn't even watch it. In the end, I watched it. But, at the time, I wouldn't even watch it. I said, is he putting too much hype on him? Listen, this is a guy who's won. How many trophies has he won at Manchester City? He won 3 or 4 titles.
4, I think he's won.
Is he 3 or 4 titles he's won? He's won FA Cups. He's won League Cups. The only thing he hasn't won is the Champions League.
Mm-hmm.
Let's be honest. He's in Europe, so he knows the English game inside out. He's at the right age. He's coming to Arsenal before his prime, Soph. This 25. Is the beautiful thing. 25. Listen, normally we're signing them at 35.
Yeah.
Now we're getting them in their prime. We're getting a Jesus at 25 who has the energy to press. And then when we win the ball, he has the energy to get in the box and score. That's what Lacazette didn't quite have. He didn't quite have that energy when we won it to spring forward and get on the end of things. But Jesus has got it in abundance, and I'm so pleased we got himself.
Exactly. We have a few Spurs listeners in the house. Welcome to you. Hope you're enjoying this Arsenal broadcast. Here's a little tool. Hold on, Kev. Let me get rid of the comment there, and then we can see this in its beauty and entirety. Look at this, Kev. I shared it a few weeks ago on the show. Mm-hmm. That's pretty impressive, isn't it? When you look at the ratio, the stats. I'm not saying Richarlison is a bad player. I just think we got the better deal, Super Kev.
Listen,
do you agree or disagree?
No, of course I agree. I think Richarlison's a really good player. But I think Gabriel Jesus is a better player. And for what we do, he's tailor-made, Soph. He is absolutely tailor-made for what we do as a football club, how the manager wants to play. And hopefully, touch a bit of wood, we will see him go from strength to strength to strength. There's a reason why Spurs wanted him. There's a reason why Chelsea wanted him. There's a reason why Real Madrid wanted to hijack it at the end. Yeah. There's a reason. Because guys like this do not come available often.
But now this guy made the call.
But Sophie, let's be honest. We've used not being in the Champions League and having a novice kind of manager against Mikel Arteta previously. We have used it against him. Now it's working in our favor, so we'll take it. We will take Jesus all day long because the manager has worked with him. He knows what is expected. So that's brilliant for Arsenal to be able to get him.
And Super Kev, for the first time, I showed this picture before. I will credit I can't remember who it was, but I will credit you. Don't worry, on the episode. I love this. The guy, look at how he's guiding him. I mean, I know even Oba's on there, but for the first time in a long time, I don't think I've been this excited about a signing since Alexis Sanchez. And I truly believe that at his age, he has the potential to, if he wants, and the God-given talent and the hard work to be on that wall. Super Kev. Am
Yeah.
Am I overreacting?
No, you're not overreacting. You're just saying what your expectations are, Soph. And let's be honest, Sophie. 45 million quid. We expect Jesus to hit the ground running. We do. We expect him to press. We expect him to score goals. We expect him to be that player who we haven't had really for 2 years. So, Sophie, we've played really without, and this is no disrespect to Oba or Laka, but in the last 2 seasons, Oba's blown hot and cold. Lacazette's blown hot and cold. And we haven't had anybody consistent at the top end of the pitch because we need somebody who can kind of do a bit of both. We need somebody who can play like Oba and stretch the pitch, but we need somebody who can link it like Laka. This guy can do both for 45 million, and we get him from the champions. I think that's really good business. So, you know what? Show him that wall and say, we want you on here. Definitely want you on here.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so Kev, I know. Talk me through games and preseason and what players actually think of it. Now, when you were playing, I think maybe towards the end of your career, the big travel started. You know, to certain countries.
Oh no!
There was a time where you were just going to play Boreham Wood or Kilmarnock. All right, tell me.
Don't forget, the Arsenal. We were out in Miami after '89. The next summer after '89, that summer we were out in Miami.
What was that tournament you guys used to play in?
We played Independiente out there.
Yeah, I remember that game.
And a few years later, if people can remember, we went out to South Africa. And Nelson Mandela and
I remember that
and all
great
that
picture of that.
So all the traveling. I mean, normally we used to keep it just Europe, but then obviously when opportunities come in Miami and South Africa and stuff like that, you take it because it's spreading the word, it's spreading the club, the brand, etc. We done a couple kind of end of the seasons in Singapore, where there was a few lads got sent home, if you remember. But anyway,
we don't talk about that anymore.
That was old Arsenal, right? But yeah, Sophie, there was a time where we used to play Barnet every year, just as a gift to Barnet, really, because it was local, etc. But now, you know, you see it. I mean, look at the scenes. And that goes for both clubs, actually, Arsenal and Everton. Look at the scenes and the fan base that was actually in Baltimore. It was fantastic really, to witness.
Yeah. What do players? It really was. I mean, they had it all. They really did. They had it all. Kev, what was your teammates and you know, from Arsenal to Everton, and even like the different experiences abroad with Trabzonspor, champions of Turkey, by the way. Nice for your ex-club. Well done, Kev.
Oh,
Champions League, as you know.
Incredible.
Did you like, how much stock do you put in pre-season? So, for example, we fans now, a lot of us kind of dissect. I don't dissect as much. I just try to enjoy, like seeing the players, the excitement of the new season coming. How did you approach it? You, your teammates, your experience of a pre-season game. Everton were they were dirty the other night, Kev.
They were physical because do you know what? They're going to have to be physical. They finished the season physical, and they're going to have to be physical, Soph, because we've seen them play at times without that physicality, and they're not the same. I think second half, especially, you saw them get a little bit tighter and made life a bit difficult. And that challenge on Jesus was like, whoa, hold on.
Yeah.
I didn't like that challenge. But, you know, they're going to have to be robust. But one thing I will say, Sophie, is there's some certain levels and certain mindsets to preseason. The first mindset is do not get injured and you've got to complete pre-season and be ready for the first game of the season. That is the most important, because you know what, Sophie? The games, you could lose every game in pre-season. You don't want to, but you could lose every game because they don't matter. What matters is going into the first game of the season.
Yeah.
That's one thing. But on the other hand, when you play for a team like Arsenal or Everton or Trabzon, you are expected to win. Yeah, and you know what, Sophie? You can't even have a bad game in pre-season anymore, because people are expecting you. There's a certain standard at the football club. People are expecting you, yeah, we know it's pre-season and all that, but you've got to hit a level.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't hit that level, people are going to start questioning you.
Yeah.
And, maybe one game you might get away with it, but 2 games, 3 games, Sophie, people are going to start asking questions. So I know people understand it's preseason, but the players actually understand there's more to it than that. And the third mindset, Sophie, is who's the new faces?
Mm-hmm.
If there's new faces in, let's see how good they are. Because the new faces actually move the level of the squad up. And that is really important.
Yep.
And this guy, and you know what? Saliba looks like a new signing.
He is. I mean, he absolutely 100% is. And thanks to Gunner Balls, who lets me use all of his art for free, by the way, on the show. Super talented. Please give him a shout. Kev, he did this last year because we wanted this to be the pairing last year. And you moved that swiftly along for me, Kev, to this next subject. Everyone said he looked mustard. You've been behind him 100%. I never thought that he would play for us. I didn't. I was on that train. Hopefully he'll sign a new deal, and that's happening. Talk to me about whether or not you see Ben White might be shushing here, Kev. But is Ben White in trouble?
Soph? Big trouble. Big trouble. I think when you look at and look, I'm not just going on the performance against Everton because it's only pre-season, Sophie. Saliba's confidence is at an all-time high. You can see it. He played effortlessly. He's still got to deal with a Calvert-Lewin who can give anybody problems. Dealt with that. And you saw his versatility, Sophie. First half as a centre-half, and then second half, he moved into a free. I think we can use a free a bit more. We've discussed this before.
Mm-hmm.
Where Ben White could be in the centre. Saliba just looks ready-made for Arsenal, Sophie. He does. He looks ready. And I know we got Orlando and Chelsea to come, and who knows what's going to happen.
Uh-huh.
But I just think he's ready.
He's so obviously he was in the team of the year in Liga, and he was breaking records in terms of his passing
stats, yeah,
in Liga. So I'm gonna shift it a little. Talk to me about what happens when this guy arrives. I do believe there might be some breaking news. Clearly, Fabrizio Romano said that the deal had been done in terms of a fee agreed between the club. Kev, I had 2 players on my list. I had a few players on my list, on my shopping list. I did a show with Harry and Tom and the guys, and number 1 on my list was this guy. Not only because I think he's versatile and talented, but to me, he brings mental strength, heart, what he's gone through this year as a player, as a human being, everything that he can bring to the table. I like Zinchenko. I've been a fan for a long time. What are your thoughts? Is he going to play in midfield? Is he going to be at the back? Is Tierney in trouble? Ben White's in trouble? Is it going to be Gab number X? And Zinchenko together with Tommy on the other side? How does that look to you?
So if I think, obviously, Kieran Tierney, what is it, 3 weeks before the season starts? Kieran Tierney really has to. I think it's just a little knock, but if he's not right, we don't have to. We don't have to push. Zinchenko technically is a gifted footballer. He can play left back, midfield, whatever. Sophie, I think when you eventually get a player like Zinchenko, you can stick him in any one of those two positions, and he will improve us because he's used to playing that progressive game of a Manchester City, where it's whether it's home or away, we retain the ball and we're technically good enough to play around opposition. That's where sometimes our problem has been. At home, Sophie, we can do it. Away from home, we can't do it as much. Where, I say when we go away, we need to be able to punch other teams in the mouth.
Yes.
Because you've got to be technically good enough to play around them, to keep the ball. And sometimes we just can't do that. With this guy, we can do it. So I don't think it matters where he plays. He was really impressive in midfield for Ukraine, Soph. Really impressive. And he can pick a pass. He's technically really good. But I think he might play more games as fullback.
So a few of our squaddies are asking some brilliant questions and making some great points, because some are thinking Tierney's in trouble and others are thinking Xhaka's in trouble. It's a great trouble bubble.
They're both in trouble. And that's the way it should be. They are both in trouble. Now, at the end of the day, the manager has to pick the team. And he has to pick the best team. Now, technically, Xhaka's a good player. But I don't think he's technically better than Zinchenko. So, again, now we've got a squad who have to compete, so it's not Xhaka's name's always going to be down. He was injured, next minute he's fit again and he comes back playing straight away. Them days are over. And that's how it should be. So there should be competition for every spot in our football team. And that's what we're going to get. So if you're performing, you stay in. If you're not performing, the next person comes up. That every top team has to have that.
I completely agree with you. And even I know a lot of people saying, you bring in Tielemans or Paqueta as Demsek. Hi, Demsek. Hope you're well. Is saying Xhaka could go. I guess could he, Kev? When you look at, there's Thomas Partey, of course. You've got Sambi Lokonga. You've got Xhaka. You've got some players who I don't think are going to push on from the under-23 squad. Maybe a couple.
Well, not yet.
Not yet. They're not ready yet. You've been ready to move on from Xhaka for a long time, Kev.
Well, you got El Neni. Listen,
El Neni,
Sophie,
of course, yeah.
Sophie, the reason why I don't think Xhaka's a bad player. Like I've said, I don't think he's a bad player. He's not a bad player, Sophie. I just think if you're going to be part of a top Arsenal team, we need more production from that midfield. And there are more productive players than Xhaka. So if Xhaka was getting us 9-10 assists a season and 5 goals, Sophie, great. But he's not. He maybe get 1 goal a season. He might get 1-2 assists. It's not enough, Sophie. And I know it may seem harsh. It's not enough. It is not enough. We need players. We need minimum 5-10 goals out of that midfielder who can push forward. We need, if it's 5 goals, we need 5-10 assists. That's what we need. Because if we brought Tielemans in, that's what we'll expect from Tielemans, Sophie. So why not expect it from Xhaka? that's what we have to be. We have to be a little bit greedy, I think, now, Sophie, because they've proven last season that they're there or thereabouts in the league. Now, if we get greedy, that should push us over. So let's get greedy. Let's get players in. Yeah, let's get very greedy. Let's get players in there who can do more.
Definitely. This is so tiny, you guys can't read it, but it's a stat. I'll put it in the description of the show, and I'm sure a lot of you have seen it. I will bring it up on my phone, and I will read a little bit of it to you. If you just give me 1 second, kids, I can do that. Technology at its finest. Okay, so it's a comparison between Kev, Zinchenko, Tierney, and Tavares, Nuno. Minutes played in the 21-22 season. I'll just take this off. So Zinchenko had 1,044 minutes, Tierney 1,918, and Nuno 1,170. Goals conceded 0.78 for Zinchenko, 0.99 for Tierney, 1.46 for Nuno. Tackle successes 6.03 for Zinchenko, 3.65 for Tierney, and 5.13 for Nuno. Interceptions 1.21 for Z, 0.7 for Tesco Bag, and 0.69 for Nuno. Chances created 1.38 for Zinchenko, 0.94 for Tierney, 0.77 for Nuno, and dribble successes, this is glaring, 4.31 for Zinchenko, 1.56 for Tierney, and 3.38 for Nuno. Stats don't lie, do they, Kev?
No, they don't lie at all. What stats can do, stats can make somebody look better than they are. In that Manchester City team,
good point, Kev.
What we do know is that they are so dominant. They're such a dominant team who retain the ball, Sophie, that it's easy to then say, because he's at Man City, that's why it's that. Probably here's the glaring thing, though, Soph. If you're at Man City, you're always up against stacked defenses. You're always up against teams who are waiting for you, are waiting to stop you. So the fact that your stats are high and that you're still creating chances and your dribbles are good is testament to the player. Because I can guarantee you, if any team who's going to Manchester City mostly say, keep it tight in the first 20, 25 minutes. Keep it tight. We need to be in the game to have a chance. But these guys' stats, his stat is still high. So these guys know how to play under pressure. They know how to play against stacked defenses, Sophie. They know how to manipulate the ball. And it always goes to showing that their technique is very good because he's virtually top of every stat.
Yeah. And P. Trim and a few others, you've answered that question for them, Kev, in terms of the flattery of paying for a better team. I'm going to give you guys the opportunity. We don't usually do this on Monday Madness, but I will, seeing as we've been away for a while and a lot has been happening. The last 10 minutes of the show, you can ask Kevin whatever you want. It's a crazy chat room right now. There's 480 of you. If you haven't hit the like button, then, Kev ain't hanging out this season. I'm just saying, you got to be real careful. It's precious time here. You got to hit that like button. Otherwise, next going to be broken. And it's Vinny's birthday.
Happy
FFS.
birthday, Vinny!
Come on for the Vince. Let's do it.
Salute and hit the like. Come on.
Come on. Let's do it. Praise. I got a lot of mileage on that one, Kev. A lot of mileage. All right. What do we want to talk about next? Let's talk about the goalkeepers real quick, Kev. I don't want to spend too much time on it. Matt Turner, a lot of people came crashing down on him after poor guy played 45 minutes of football. And did much better in the Everton game. I like how Arteta also gave him a bit of a platform to be, to be starting in front of his home crowd, of course. He's a good guy. If you guys missed the interviews, Magic Mike on the Gooners pod has some great bits with Matt Turner. And the dude, as I said a few months ago on this show, he is not coming to just be a
second fiddle,
a ball carrier. Kev, what was your take on all of that?
Listen, I think the first game was just that. I know a lot of people kind of piled on. It was the first game. We had wasn't a great first side we played, was it? And then the second half, when we put on a few more of the starters, things changed totally. He had a lot better game. I thought he was very good with his feet. He was very good in this game and done what he needed to do, Sophie, at the end of the day. Everton were pressing hard at the top end of the pitch. Mm-hmm. And, things could have got a little bit hairy for him, but he played it nice and simple. He done everything that was needed of him, even when they tried to chip him from afar. He got back and got his hand to it and stuff like that. So that was good.
His throwing, Kev, was more impressive than his foot to ball. Like
his distribution. His distribution was very good. And listen, he doesn't look out of place, Soph. I don't think he looks out of place.
Yeah. We'll see, guys. I mean, look, no one's saying, let's just say, remember last summer when everyone poo-pooed quite a few signings and, a couple of them came really, really good. He's always looking healthy.
Hey, by the way, MK, did you see what MK just put?
Yeah, I took it off. Did you read it, though? You had it.
Of course I read it. Florida Gooners having pints with the obviously the team was having pints of Coke or pints of soda.
Yeah.
And the Florida Gooners having pints. But isn't that nice?
I love it.
That's nice. That's nice. Everybody coming together for the kit launch. Fantastic, MK. Well done. Well said.
Yeah. Brilliant stuff. Absolutely brilliant. Okay, so we talked about the back a little bit. I think I might just bring in the questions because they're all around kind of what I want to talk to you about, Kev. All right. So I think we'll go directly to that. By the way, would you agree that Mikel is looking very happy, chilled? Reports I'm getting on the ground that he's all business, Kev. This dude is. Fire him. What?
Yeah. I mean, look, at the end of the day, Soph, he's getting backed. We've got 3 weeks left. We as fans, we want every position done, don't we? We want a bigger striker. We want, a winger. We want another one in midfield or two. And we want others at the back. We want it all. But I think he's going to be happier because obviously Jesus is working out. Turner's come in. Saliba looks the part. You start getting Zinchenko. Obviously, we ain't seen Vieira yet. He's had a little niggle. So he's got players. He's got Tomiyasu to come back in, etc., etc. He's probably looking at his squad, Sophie, and thinking, I'm a lot happier with how things are now. Mm-hmm. A lot happier. If we could sneak another 3 players in, Soph, we'd be a lot stronger.
Which 3, Kev, do you want at this point?
Sophie, look, a big striker, I can't see it happening at the moment. So I'm not even going to go there. I still think it could be 2 in midfield and a winger. Mm-hmm. We're being linked with Sane, aren't we? And stuff like that, who's a real good player. Not sure whether we'll get him. But obviously the Tielemans shout is still around. Zinchenko shout is still around. And Arthur from Juventus is still a shout.
More Brazilians in the house. It's fine if they can.
Why not? Samba the place up.
We did the French Revolution. It's now time for the Brazilian.
Samba time.
revolution. This is my last question to Kev before I share your questions. Hit them in now. We've got about 20 minutes left with Super Kevin Campbell here. Get your questions in, please. Kev, there was some dross in that second half, let's be honest. So I'm going to go with that. I've done the up, and now I've got to do the reality.
Yeah, let me just say to Byron and anybody who's talking about we need players out first. No, we don't. We don't need players out first. We need the players in. That's what we need. Because you know what happens when we start saying, oh, we need players out? Other teams start to go, oh, maybe I want him. You want 15 million. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll give you 3. Other teams start playing games with us, Soph. What we need is the right players in ASAP. And then you could say to the likes of whoever, find yourself a new club.
Mm-hmm.
What I don't want, Sophie, is us to get right to the end of the window and us still needing to do a lot of business.
So Lynn just said this, and we've seen this in the past. The dross does, and Tom mentioned this when I was on his show yesterday, Tom Canton. The dross does seem to go at the end of the window. Kev, are you? If we can't sell, we've got to loan. We've got to get people out.
Yeah, get them out the building. But Sophie, you could see, yeah, there is a massive drop off. There's players there whose heart ain't in it and stuff like that. But the transfer market is a game right now. There are teams who want them, but they're playing the long game, Soph. Because they let Arsenal get them fit, and then we'll take them for cheap. At the end of the day, Sophie, I don't mind. Have them for cheap. We can't afford to play that game anymore. We've got to get the quality in, Soph, because we have to hit the ground running.
And here it is, David Ornstein, Arsenal finalising the move for Zinchenko from Manchester City. My hairs have gone up. I almost have a tear in my eye. Stop me. Who am I? Why am I so... Anyway, I'm getting too excited. We're signing proper ballers. I don't want to hear Manchester City sloppy set. He's 25 too, Kev.
Winners. We're signing winners, Soph.
30 million.
Winners, Soph. Winners can play equally as well in midfield or fullback.
Thank you, Harvey. Kev, he's 20. He's 25 as well.
Sophie, they're not even at their prime. They've been educated by Pep. Now they're ready to come into Arsenal.
And there's a reason they want to come to Arsenal. And listen, we had many conversations, and I was definitely of the ilk of if you can go to Tottenham and play for Antonio Conte and have Champions League football, or if you want to sign for Mikel Arteta and play in Europa League and come to the Arsenal, who are you going to go to? Now, we also talked about relationships. I don't see anything wrong with Ten Hag signing his ex-players. This is a business. You've been through that, Kev. That's what happens in football.
Name of the game.
Right? So clearly, Zinchenko and Jesus are wanting to play for Arteta. They also know, especially Jesus knows he could become a total cult hero or legend at the Arsenal if he wants to. Raheem Sterling was the one that definitely wanted a little bit more. I'm going to go to Chelsea. I want to play Champions League football, Kev. But people have criticised... Those are two big signings. If Tottenham had signed those two players, what do you think the media would have said?
Oh, incredible. Spurs, they'll say Spurs are going to challenge for the title because they're bringing winners in. They're bringing winners in. They're bringing in players who know how to get over the line. They're bringing players in who have been there, seen it, done it, and been under the most pressure and performed.
Yeah.
Come to Arsenal and we'll see.
Okay, so it feels good that we, from this conversation, we should start with Adam and his Might want to change your name, Adam and his dirty pants. Kev, who finishes high this season?
I think we do. I think we've now got. Well, obviously, there's still a little bit of work to do, but I think we've got somebody at the top end of the pitch who are going to make that difference for us. That's what you think about it. Olba and Laka were hit and miss for the last 2 seasons. Blowing hot and cold. In the end, Olba obviously had to go. And Lacazette, bless him, just ran out of steam at the end. Just didn't have enough. Now we've got somebody, 25, not even in their prime, knows the Premier League, fit as a fiddle, Brazil international, hungry. I'll take that, Soph. I think we've got somebody who can really cause a problem in opposition boxes. And if you look at a lot of the times we played the big boys, we've had opportunities to get in the box and score. But we haven't had anybody in there who's smart enough, who knows their way around the box enough to make a difference. Hopefully, Jesus is that guy.
Also, I think we talked of Lowell, Universal Greek, Yasul. I hope you're well and you're having a lovely summer. Negotiated Adamant's contract for 12 years. That is hilarious. I love that coinky dink. Kev, you and I talked also about, we lost Tierney, Partey, Tomiyasu, Spurs with Son and Kane and the greatest manager in the world barely scraped to pip us to 4th. So you add, let's just say you just go into the season with Jesus and what we have now, plus hopefully everyone gets fit. And we obviously we don't know, what does Tomiyasu's injury look like? Not a lot being said about that. How's Thomas Partey going to be? What's going to happen there? We're not going to talk about that on this show. You guys are asking a lot of questions about him. I would prefer to steer clear of that conversation right now. But as a player, clearly we know that he was important to the Arsenal last season, Kev. There's a lot of questions for you, and I will put this up. The Paqueta, Tielemans, you add those, and you look at the Spurs squad. You could say pound for pound, similar, but you've got Kane and Son up front. Kane's better than Jesus, isn't he? Or Son and Jesus?
Well, they have been. Well, look, as a duo, they've been the difference for Spurs. They have been the real difference for Spurs. The key to this, what we're doing, Sophie, is one, we didn't have enough in midfield. 1, to create. 2, to score. Because what we're doing isn't the same as Spurs. Spurs rely heavily on Kane and Son. They are. That's what they rely heavily on Kane and Son. What we have to do, we have to share it around. Jesus, yes, we want to be the main man, but we still need Saka to hit double figures. We still need Martinelli to hit double figures. So we still need a Smith Rowe to hit double figures. And we still need that midfielder, attacking midfielder, to get 5 to 10 goals. Because we need Gabriel at the back, Magalhaes to score. We need everybody to contribute, so it's important for us.
So you mentioned a player. Are you worried about Gabriel and this Juventus stuff? Because when I spoke to Max Allegri and Vlahovic last week, Kev, I kind of I asked him about the transfers and Mateus Delit. I've probably pronounced his name wrong. I always do. Don't worry about it. And rumored to be going to Bayern Munich. And, how does he feel about that? He was very adamant about how the club are already prepared and they have all the answers in place.
Good.
I just, when I look at this picture in particular, Kev, and I see him with his teammates from Brazil, I just can't picture it. I just can't see that.
Sophie's going nowhere. He's going nowhere. If ever Arsenal want to shoot themselves in the foot, they would do this. No, you don't do it. For the first time, Sophie, in a long time. You look, we got three really good centre halves who we believe could make a real difference. We've got to stop. We've got to get those defeats in single digits. So we get those defeats in single digits, we have a real chance of Champions League in the league.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to need our best defenders. And I think Gabriel's our best centre half. So what sign would that send out to the team and to the fan base if you sell your best centre half? Makes no sense. It's not happening, Soph. I'm not worried one bit.
I didn't think so, but I had to go there and pry, and prod a little bit.
No, you have to ask the question. Yeah,
yeah,
of course.
Totally. Okay, we've got 10 more minutes left. Kev, how hot is it, by the way, where you are right now?
Oh, I'll tell you what, Soph. It's gorgeous.
Is it?
It's gorgeous. The window's open and I'm still sweating. I tell you what, it's lovely.
So just so we can give you guys almost perfect sound, we shut the windows. I got no fan. I live in an older house, so there's no air conditioning. I know a lot of my family and friends in England do not have air conditioning.
No aircon.
All right, here we go with this one, Kev. How important is Europa League? Do we play two separate teams from Sunday to Thursday? This is a good question.
We don't play two separate teams. What we do, we mix and match in the key areas. I think in the midfield, you could change things around. In the early stages, you can probably play two different teams if you like. Give youngsters a chance, win a couple of games, and then the league take care of itself. But once you get to knockout, I think you can't take liberties. You have to play your best teams, but that's why you have a big squad. You can mix and match the midfield. You can mix and match the attack. And there should be enough quality within it to get through. Now, this has been Arsenal's problem, and we've had this argument and we've had this debate, Sophie, haven't we? When you get past Arsenal's first 11,
it's dodgy.
The backup is not right. The backups are not right. So,
yeah, we've got, and we're going to be playing, hopefully, for a while in the FA Cup, the League Cup, Premier League. Kev, everyone's just assuming, and I know it's the norm. Why wouldn't they assume that it's going to be Liverpool and Manchester City again? However, City, I think, more so. And of course, no one's, Haaland is not, or Haaland, if you pronounce it correctly, is not a given that he's going to succeed here. Now, he's a beast and he'll probably do really well, but everyone thought that Zinchenko would do well at Chelsea. A lot of people thought that Torres would do well when he moved from Liverpool. There have been a lot of players that have come in and it has not worked for them, Kev. Liverpool are going through a transition too. I mean, look, City, Sterling leaves.
That's the one I'm thinking of. Is Mane going and Nunes coming in, different players?
Yes.
That might disrupt the apple cart for a bit. It might not start off exactly how they want. And that, we've seen what a tough start, how much it can impact your season, Soph. A tough start, you fall behind this Manchester City squad.
Mm-hmm. And
you see how hard and Liverpool had to go on an unbelievable run just to go within 1 point. But you fall below this Man City. They'll always be able to control games because that's what they do. They'll always create goals, opportunities. Haaland, they haven't had a number 9 really, per se, that main man, since Aguero. Now they've got one. I think he's going to score a lot of goals. So if I do in this City team, and it gives them, I think it's going to give them another dimension because you have to account for him. When they don't play a striker, okay, you got Foden up there sometimes, or Sterling up there, or sometimes Jesus is there. Sometimes they played Jesus and he was on the wing. So
they've won 2 league titles without a striker.
But
So this is
Sophie, so now they mean business. Why? Because they know they've messed up in the Champions League. If they
yeah.
had a striker in the Champions League, they would have been in the final minimum.
It caught up with them eventually, didn't it, Kev?
It did. It really did.
Yeah. Shampar here, we've talked about this a little bit about the squad, past 11, our first 11, etc., etc. It's not over yet, guys. The transfer window doesn't. I don't think we're bringing another player in. Maybe one. That's it. But the Maitland-Nileses and the Bellerins of the world, and some of the people that we saw come in, they've got to go. That's where the improvement is. What Kev was saying needs to be made.
So, don't you think that because of the amount of subs we can use, we need more players?
Yes. I don't like this 5 subs thing.
No, you might not like it, but the fact of the matter is, that's why bringing one more player in ain't going to be enough.
Mm-hmm.
Because the dead wood that's in and around the squad in the second string, we want them out now.
Mm-hmm.
We need new faces in there, so.
Yeah. And by the way, Vieira, let's not forget about him. Did you guys read what Emil Smith-Rowe was saying about Vieira? He had faced him in the under-21s at international level, thought that he was just beyond, insanely talented. Yes. Yeah. And, let's not forget that he is definitely a player that's going to be able to contribute to this team. Let's hope he gets healthy pretty quickly. All right, Kev, a few more questions for you here. Do we still need a backup striker? I mean, I know you want the big target man. You've talked about Tammy. That's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen
anytime soon. It's Eddie and Jesus, the main men, correct, Kev?
Yep, it is. That's. I think that's what Mikel Arteta is going to go with. I think to spend money on another striker who's not going to play, I can't see it happening. So I think we've got other areas of need that we need to fill those gaps. Scamacca is not coming to Arsenal, that's for sure. No.
Let's see. Nuna says, "Hi, Soph and Super Kev. What do you think of signing Belotti?" We talked about Belotti.
That's not happening either.
No. Yeah.
Not happening.
Yeah.
Good player, but it's not happening.
Omaha Guna, welcome. Maitland-Niles. He actually looked, sorry, I say this with kindness, he looked like he was carrying a spare tire in that game. Did not look fit at all. Like I've been eating the pies a little bit. Is that cruel? Should I not speak like that? Is that mean?
That's a bit cruel, Soph.
Is it? Yeah. I mean,
he's not carrying.
I ate all the pies when I was in England, and I put on
he's not
7
carrying.
pounds.
That's for sure. He's not carrying. He's not. But you come off the bench, and sometimes it takes a bit of time.
I'm sorry, he's a professional athlete. He should be looking after himself.
No, but everybody is. But I'm saying you come off the bench, and sometimes it's hard to get the pace of the game. So it may look that way, but
Jesse Lingard looks in shape on his TikTok, giving it some.
Oh, right. Well, so did he play a game?
No, but I'm saying, like, you keep.
Yeah, but he didn't play a game. But this is a game. He's on TikTok.
Kev, what's going to happen with Pepe? Lots of questions for you.
I think Pepe's going to go. I really think he's going to go.
Leeds have been sniffing. That would be good. Actually, you know what? For Pepe, I think that would be, as a replacement for Rafinha, that would be a good move for Pepe. No?
Oh, jeez. Good move for Arsenal.
Good move. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, good move for Arsenal. But...
Oh, my goodness. We're very happy about the Zinchenko deal. Very happy here at Squad Central. There's no doubt about that. Yeah, it's all right when people sing Frank Lampard ate all the pies. Well said, MK. Gosh. should be careful. Have to be careful. Kev, a lot of people asking this. We did talk about it. You said White is in trouble, but retooling the question, what a lot want to know is at the beginning of the season, who gets the first call?
We don't know yet, Soph. We don't know yet because we don't know what the manager's going to do. But all I'm telling everybody is Saliba's for real. He's for real. Now, that all of a sudden puts Ben White on notice because he operates on the right-hand side, as a right centre half or the right of a free. Now, if they're going to play a free, fair enough, Ben White plays in the middle. But if it's going to be two, physically, he's not going to be bullied, Soph. He's got the speed to deal with most strikers. You could see Gordon tried to run him and he couldn't run him, even in the second half on the weekend. So he's got the speed to do that. He's good on the ball. So, Ben White's he's gonna have to perform.
Peter wants to know, a few are asking, Holding's a squad player now, isn't he, Kev?
Of course he is.
Yeah. And when you read about Matt Turner talking about how Holding's been driving him around because he hasn't got a car yet. So before they came on the tour, when Matt Turner
Picking
came
him up,
onto the
dropping him
bus,
off, doing all the bits, yeah.
Yeah, he's like, come sit next to me, Matty, and
looking after him.
Yeah.
But that's what it should. That's what it should be like. So that's what it's always like. Come round to my house for dinner. Do you know what I mean? I know you're holed up in a hotel or whatever, but come round to my house for dinner. That type of stuff. Just break it up, break the monotony up for these guys.
Yeah, definitely. We answered that, Jan, at the beginning of the show. Kev definitely thinks that Zinchenko can play. He's not saying he will. He's saying he can play. And of course, we know his versatility. So just give it a little rewind and you'll find out what Kev said about that. Just a couple minutes here. We're at 1 hour and 2, Kev. It has flown by. 1:02. Here we are.
What are the likes, please? How many watching? What are the likes?
Right. This is
important now. Not seeing us all this time. I want to know.
Tammy Steels, Chief Like Officer, our CLO, coming back to work for us again for next season. Work, she doesn't get paid at all. No one here gets paid, by the way. What are the likes? Let us know. Give us those digits. Give us those numbers. There's 720 odd people in live chat right now. Danny D, who's the chief Spurs fan who loves this show. I wonder if do you listen to Chris Cowlin? He does a good show about Tottenham. Danny, you should go over there. I like Chris. He's actually a good guy. Kev, he thinks they're going to win. They're going to win the Premier League once again.
Hey, good. They win the Premier League. Good for you, Danny. The crazy thing is, you got no history of winning the Premier League. You got no history of winning anything, really. So, especially lately. So, let's you know what? Let's have some fun during the season anyway. Let's have some fun.
Definitely. We will. Kev, before I do some housekeeping bits, what else do you want the guys to know?
I don't.
I
don't want them to know. I don't want them to know anything because you know what? I want to be able to speak about Zinchenko when it gets announced. I don't want to say too much, though, because it gives us things. If you say too much, then you've covered stuff.
I think for our first show back for a while, we've covered quite a bit.
We've covered a lot. And we've taken questions.
Yeah, it's not good enough, Tammy. Now, we're going to leave now. We were going to stay for an extra few minutes, but now it's just...
335.
700 plus,
and Kev. 720.
Yeah.
Salute and hit the like. Come on, squaddies.
Come on, people. I mean, seriously, we've given you...
Even they're coming to take you out, saying, Kev, get that, turn it off.
You got the ledge here, giving facts. It's Vinny's birthday, crying out loud.
Oh.
Let's start off the season well, because you know what's back this season.
Yeah, and that might be to end the show.
Don't let me give you all a yellow card the first day back to school. All right? Pump it up. And you're going to get a chance to pump it up because I'm going to give you some housekeeping news. Thank you, Peter. Peter is challenging Tammy for the Chief Like Officer position.
Nice, I like it.
Right there, I like it a lot. Okay. Tomorrow, Super Kev, on tomorrow's show, we have Aston Mack. Oh, let me get rid of Vinny. Aw, my baby.
Oh, Vinny's red birthday. But you know what? Aston Mack, what a guy, Soph. He's been embraced, hasn't he? Which has been really nice.
Yes.
He's been embraced by Arsenal, which is, and you know what? When I saw the advert, that was just like brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
Isn't it top shelf?
It's really good. Anyone who hasn't seen the Arsenal advert for the launch of the kit, you've got to watch it.
Even when we're away, we're at home. If you haven't seen that video and seen, like, I understand, you know, clubs go, they travel. There's a lot of fans internationally for Manchester United and Liverpool, but we come after them. Not even Chelsea are close to us yet.
No way, no way.
Or
no
Manchester
way.
City.
No way.
Chelsea have made huge tracks over the last few years, winning a lot of stuff. Manchester City are not as big a club as Arsenal, but they're doing big, massive, gigantic things, and they will get there eventually. But you got to watch that video. And Aston Mack is coming on the show tomorrow. I want to know where they got that car from for him. I mean, he's driving that. That was a hot car.
So let them see it. They've got to see
okay.
it.
So he will talk about his experience standing next to Saliba, Odegaard. I mean, come on, people. So he'll be joining tomorrow. On Wednesday, we have a new episode of Football Frenemies. Yes, I'm going there. Danny D will like this. Football Frenemies, Kev. Episode 1 was with Newcastle United's Geordie Pete, which was brilliant. If you missed it, please go check our friend Geordie Pete and check out his Hollywood Balls show as well. Top shelf stuff. He's doing some great one-on-ones right now as well, by the way, with a lot of great folks. And you can catch him and Kev live on the weekends. We've got Anthony Costa on Wednesday.
Yes,
so we're going
Anthony.
Tottenham v Arsenal. Let's settle
Anthony.
this, Kev. Let's get into it once and for all. We're going to talk about our current transfers. We're going to go at it one-on-one. We've done a couple of shows on Sky Sports together with Early Kickoff, and I thought Anthony would be the perfect person to bring in for Football Frenemies. So it could get a bit ugly on Wednesday.
And he's a nice guy as well.
He's
a lovely lad as well.
Yeah, he's a lovely lad. Definitely. And then we've got a new episode of Jess and Soph coming up as well. And, of course, we'll be covering some of the Women's Euros too. Not bad for our first week.
Hey, Sophie, haven't the English girls done great so
Smashing
far?
it.
Big game coming up against Spain, but...
So, Kev, here's the scoop. This is it. The pressure's on now. That's a big pressure game. Now, it's going to be different without... Alexia Putellas playing, of course. I mean, what a shame for her to not be able to play in this tournament. But I think the Lionesses are looking very strong. Norway are not a joke team, by the way, people. If you watch women's football, they're higher in the world rankings than Austria. We were expecting them to be the tricky part of our group.
Yes.
And that was just an annihilation. I was not expecting it. I was worried about that game a little bit. So, yeah, brilliant stuff, Kev. And look, when you see everyone going and the stadium's packed when England are playing and it's the women's game and our Beth Mead is shining and Leah Williamson is captaining the team as well, it's just magic. It'll be great to see an Arsenal captain lift a trophy for England before you know who.
Well, do you know what, Sophie? One thing we don't do, we don't jump. No. So let's look at the next game. England can win this game. We want England to perform and win. Yeah. We want England to win the tournament. Of course we do, but one game at a time, as you know.
One game at a time, definitely.
Look at Spain and we deal with Spain and then hopefully move on from there.
Definitely.
Get into this. Well, this is the quarters now, isn't it? So it's big business time now.
Yeah, definitely. And GD, thank you. I did post my question I got to ask Gareth Bale on the channel on YouTube as part of our stateside squad, which we'll be doing a little bit more of this year as well. So thank you. You can check that out. It's very short. It's just 2 minutes and 2 seconds. And, you know, Gareth is happy to be in La La Land. Looks really happy, Kev.
It should be.
Yeah.
It should be. Yeah.
And by the way, next Monday on Monday Madness, we're going to have Tiffany from Arsenal America on to give us an entire wrap of the tour, behind the scenes, little nuggets. So watch out for that as well. That's all I've got, Kev. Day one.
Hey, listen, what a great show. Only 10.5 minutes of Sophie time. There you go.
10.5.
Only.
Oh, yeah. That's not bad for show one, right?
That's not bad. No, that's not bad for you, Soph.
And Kev will be on the show soon.
Well, I'm hoping Friday.
So what we're looking at for this new season is Kev will probably be doing Mondays with me and Fridays. And we'll give you more news once the real season starts. Because Kev has got 3 teams now in the Premier League. He's going to be a very, 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 very busy guy. But don't worry, even when he's not here, he will be here. Always. Isn't that right, Super Kev?
You won't. Can't get away from me, squaddies. I'm telling you.
Can't get rid of him. Away. So when he asks for the likes, you better give them, people.
Or else what's the point in me giving up my time, Soph?
Exactly. You tell him, Super Kev.
There you go.
Right. That's all I've got. I hope we delivered and you guys are happy that we are back. We're back with a bang and it's just going to keep rolling now. August 1st show, by the way, the Monday Madness, is going to be our predictions show.
Have you got the predictions from last season?
We're going to look at that on that. Yes. I think someone who played up front for Arsenal may have done a little bit better than me. Just saying.
And that ain't judges.
We should get Gianni on for that one, maybe.
On, yeah, get him with the syrup on. Yeah.
Too funny. All right, Kev, why don't you take us out?
Squaddies, as always, Sophie, hostess with the mostest, loves you. I love you. Good to be back. Good to see you all. I hope you're all hydrated and you're looking after yourself. Tell your loved ones you love them. And happy birthday to Vinny. Just put it in the post. Happy birthday, Vinny. Or put a heart there or whatever. Do you know what, squaddies? It's been a pleasure. Remember, get the likes up. Squaddies, we love you. And at ease, squaddies. At ease.
Mind the gap between the train and the platform. Please stand clear of the discussion doors. The next stop is HighburySquad.